So it is a great pleasure for me to start this panel, as Ilias explained, to discuss about the energy regional cooperation here with two distinguished speakers. And, some small technical issues. Mr. Sergei Brasonevou, Chief of Staff of the Ministry of Energy of Moldova, that is here with us, and the honor of having Mr. Georgi Samandov, Deputy Minister of Energy in Bulgaria. Mr. Papastavro, our Minister, he will be coming very shortly on the way, so we have been asked to have the discussion, and he will be either joining us shortly or coming in the conference in a short period of time. So I will start with Mr. Samandov with a question about Bulgaria's energy mix, the way that Bulgaria now is looking at its, let's say, energy transition. It is, as we have heard before, we try to claim that we are an energy hub here in the region. Obviously, Bulgaria is bordering with Greece, and we have a lot of, if I may say, shared infrastructure, as we have heard also before about the vertical corridor, through the IGB, even the FSRU in Alexandroupolis that continues with these alternative sources. We have other, pipelines that are coming also from Azerbaijan, and a number of other interconnection of electricity projects, etc. So all of these projects enhance Bulgaria's role in Southeast European energy markets, promote the regional integration, and contribute to energy security for both Bulgaria and its neighbors. And how do you foresee this in the coming future, and what are the key things that you would like to share with us in this regard?
Thank you very much for the question. First of all, I want to thank to the organizers for this event and all the topics that you have set, because nowadays we see that only with developing of new technology and updating of the existing technologies, the prosperity of our society will be secure. In this regard that you have asked me for the Bulgarian energy mix, I'm very proud to announce that more than 70% of our energy mix is from low carbon sources, 40% from our nuclear power plant, which is the biggest in Southeast Europe, with installed capacity near 4 gigas. We are in a process of decommissioning of a little bit more than 1.7 gigas for old units VVR. And the existing units are providing 40% of the low carbon mix. The renewables are around 33%. The main part of them are the PV power plants. Also, we have the ambition till the end of the next year to install around 10 gigawatt hours of battery storages with capacity of 2.5 gigas, which will provide us the flexibility for the grid, not only for Bulgaria but for the whole region. These batteries will provide us the time that we need for the accomplishing of the 4 new pumped hydropower plant storages, which will provide the flexibility of the system, because the rolling machines are very important, as we know, for the additional services, for the grid inertia, etc. That's why, as neighbors like Greece and Romania and the other countries in the region, is very important to work together, because in the most critical periods For example, for the last year, in some situation, the Greek gas peakers have saved the common system. In the beginning of this summer, the Bulgarian system helped to the end to the North Macedonian system, not to follow the bad example of Spain. Yes, there was a problem, but the problem was shortly repaired. That's why I began with important sentence that we should develop new technology and update the existing.
And I understand, Minister, that the electricity and generally speaking, the gas pipeline network in Bulgaria can support higher numbers from the existing demand of the country as it stands now, in terms of power at least. Is that something that gives an edge to the Bulgarian system, also looking ahead at possible export-oriented, let's say, opportunities with the neighbors?
According to the electricity system, I will separate your question. According to the electricity system, yes, it could provide more, but 5 gigas from the existing around 12 or I think that there are more than 12 because the PVs are increasing every minute. But 5 gigas are for coal-fired power plants, which energy is not so environmental friendly and it is very expensive. That's why we are looking for developing of new technology. You know that our ambition is to be the first country in Europe which will operate the proven technology of AP1000 from the US Westinghouse provider. For the second part of the question, yes, with the electrification, the Bulgarian gas sector, which was around 3.3 or 5 BCM per year, is decreased significantly with half 0.5 BCM. And our system is very well developed. I saw that my colleague, Mr. Malinov, and previous boss was on this event, and under his guidance, the Bulgartransgaz, the Bulgarian system operator, has developed very well its own infrastructure and increased the interconnections with our partners from Greece, excuse me, Romania, Serbia, the possibilities of our network to move the energy, the gas through different direction. And yeah, I don't think that we could be exporter or important. I think we should think how to move the energy to the society and the business which needs it, because I see that we as partners in EU and NATO and our partners which we are with, which are not members of these strong alliances, but are our friends, we should do our best to provide the goods that our society needs.
Okay. I'll continue on this topic of cooperation and collaboration with neighbors, and I'll ask Sergei about Moldova, which sits in a strategic location as well on the map, especially looking at the vertical corridor that was discussed before. And you have recently strengthened the participation of the country with regional energy initiatives as the SEAGAS, the Southeast European Gas Initiative, the Central and Southeastern European Energy Connectivity, SESEC. So how do these collaborations enhance Moldova's energy security on one hand and facilitate its integration into the broader Southeast Europe energy market?
Well, thank you for the question. I think that this question we can elaborate a little bit on another level. First of all, Moldova is at a crossroad right now. because we have been a hostage with one source of natural gas and electricity for the last 30 years. And although everyone was saying, that we had affordable prices for natural gas, let's say, or for electricity, we have paid a huge, very big price in terms of political price for that. So right now, Moldova is committed to diversify its sources. So we are committed not do the same mistakes that we have done for the last 30 years, and to look into a strong regional cooperation, to connect with the neighboring countries in terms of infrastructure and in terms of aligning our regulations and our legislation to the European Union. So in this case, all the reforms that we have started during the last 4 years, they started to pay off. First of all, we have a clear message from Brussels, that they're very satisfied with our results in terms of the reforms provided. And here we talk about, the opening of the natural gas market and opening of the electricity market. Right now we are working, on establishing and approving market rules for electricity and opening basically the electricity market, to provide, to give the chance to the companies to get openly on the market and for the suppliers and traders to enter the market. So all of this together, they show the commitment of the country to become to become part of the European energy market by 2028. So we aim to have one bidding zone in terms of electricity, in terms of energy market by 2028 with European Union. For that, of course, there is still a long way to be passed in terms of the legislation, regulations, and developing the capability of our internal market. And here, of course, we can talk a lot about developing the infrastructure, as the predecessors from the previous panel was saying, that we have to upgrade the electricity network. We have to enhance the interconnections with the neighboring countries, and here we talk about mainly Romania, but also Ukraine. We still think that a resilient market and sustainable market, for ourselves, for the Moldovan side, is not only good interconnections with Romania, on which we are working right now, but also enhancing our interconnections also with Ukraine.
Okay. I will comment now from a panel discussion we had in the morning that the speakers called about acceleration of the energy transition and acceleration on the discussions and the decisions that are taken, especially at Brussels level, given that even for Moldova is important to, let's say, follow up the trend and follow up the guidelines, if you wish, of the European Union in this respect. And I will ask you again, how do you see Moldova's energy mix in the near future? And based on formulating your strategy, will you be aligned on the national energy climate plans that have been set up for the rest of the European Union member states?
I would like to emphasize something here. This summer for Moldova was a very interesting one. And first of all, because of the private initiatives. And here we should thank the private investors, that they started to believe in Moldovan market. So right now, the energy mix, when we talk about the consumption basket, we have on monthly average about 25 or even more of the renewables out of the total consumption. We had a few days during this summer, then the output of the renewables, renewable energy sources installed on the national ground, exceeded the consumption actually. So our target is to hit this average annual average production to hit 30% by 2030. But I think that we will hit this target even before. So to promote this, as I mentioned earlier, we are doing a lot of reforms in terms of legislation and secondary regulations. We do a lot of infrastructure projects. Some are already ongoing. Some of them, there are tenders launched right now. And some other tenders that are about to come in the next 12 months. But beside that, we just finished the first in our country tender for renewable capacities. It was 165 megawatt, 60 photovoltaic and 105 wind capacity that has passed successfully. As far as I know, all the contracts, it was based on a PPA contracts, all the contracts are already signed with the companies that have won this tender. So now we are expecting that the developing part will start. And because the demand was quite high for the capacities allocated for this first tender, we launched immediately a second tender. That will be only for wind and battery energy storage systems. This is how the country or the government, wants to subsidize, if you want, wants to encourage the investment in the renewables. But as I said, during the last 4 years, we increased our installed capacity almost eight times. In the renewables. And all of this, it's only thanks to the private investors that, they started as early comers, as early bloomers. They came into our country, started to develop these capacities, believed in the potential of our market. So now we can see the results. Moldova has already passed a governmental decision in March this year about a full phase out of Russian energy sources. So currently, I'm very committed when I say that we don't import one molecule of Russian gas. We're very strict about that to check, the certificates of origins of all the gas that we import. And we don't, historically, in terms of electricity, we were relying on a power plant that it's located in the still occupied part of our country, occupied by Russian forces. There's a power plant so-called owned by a Russian conglomerate. So we don't buy electricity from that power plant anymore at all. Although it brought some challenges to our electricity system because we had to rely very much on the last year on the imports. Beside basically this 25 to 30% of the renewables in the winter period, we still have CHPs that will add a few percentage, but beside that, remaining 70 to 80%, we had to import. So that was a great stress, big stress on the cross-border interconnection capacity. We passed it with success during summertime, and in the next couple of months, we will finish the first new interconnector with Romania. We're launching now the second one, the tender for the second one. So I think that the future is brighter than it has been if now we remember how it was looked like 2 years ago.
Thank you for your position here. You have raised a number of topics we could discuss for a long time. The willingness to be independent, first of all, and have energy security on each single member state or each country around the world is kind of obvious, and especially with the occasion of these geopolitical events that have shaken the world recently, and for the same exact reason that you, as your country and as with the Bulgarian case that we heard, and many others. We want to diversify away as Europe as a whole from Russian energy molecules, let's say, especially on natural gas. It seems as an obvious case where that renewables can offer this independency, if you wish, on one hand, at a low cost, because I heard the minister talking about keeping our economies competitive as well at some point in our industries, and it's very important. And with this remark, I will ask again the minister, Georgi, if you can tell us what is your technological choice preference, or are you, in terms of strategy in the country, more agnostic in terms of technology, and you are paving the way in this respect, while at the same time, as I said earlier, following the National Energy Climate Plan kind of guidelines that you have also set with the European Commission, because Bulgaria has nuclear. It's a relatively old nuclear power station that it's also something to be put on the table, and to consider that as a broader region as well, obviously. But renewables can come and offer a solution with the storage that very correctly are targeting as a country. So where are you in terms of technologies for your policy in the short and medium term?
Thank you for the question. Bulgaria's mix is well developed. We have technologies, all kinds of technology, except with some exceptions. Let's say with gas-fired power plants, we have gas-fired power plant in Varna, which is not working for.
It's an old fleet, let's say.
Absolutely, it is decision of the owners of the power plant. But we, as a country with rich experience in the nuclear, it is absolutely understandable that we want to continue the development of this technology. And the example is our effort to work, and I'm absolutely sure that we will succeed to work with our partners from Westinghouse and Hyundai for deploying of brand new AP1 1000 in Kozloduy. Also, we have ambition program with the SMRs. We are working with USTDA for feasibility studies for deployment on several sites in Bulgaria, in Maritsa Basin, where are the old coal-fired power plants, the most of them.
And small nuclear reactors.
Yeah, we are speaking about small modular reactors. Also, you know that Bulgaria has the only one licensed site in Europe, nuclear site in Belene. There is also a possibility to develop such a technology there. And as I thought, I strongly believe that we should think in common, because we have very good developed network with more than 350 substations, which are the small hearts of this system. Now we have installed capacity of 3 gigas of water, and as I thought, we have ambition plan to increase this water with hydropower plants up to 3.5 gigas with 4 new projects. The example is very clear because several days ago the government has increased the budget of the Bulgarian Energy Holding with 1.5 billion BGN for development of the nuclear and the hydropower projects. For some of these pumped hydropower storage plants, we are searching for partners, for investors. So in the near future, I think that we will...
This will be collaboration between
The government
state and
and,
government and
yeah,
private
there are several
partnership.
options: build, operate, transfer, or some kind of SPVs of joint ventures. These are
PPPs as well, public-private partnerships. In
absolutely,
this sense.
absolutely. These are technical possibilities which we can develop.
Okay, so our minister also just came, and we know that we will be reshuffling a little bit the program to accommodate his participation. The question was very important for me because we need to understand what is happening to our neighbors. I mean, we have been talking a lot about regional cooperation, collaboration, when it was needed that Bulgaria was out of gas, Greece and its infrastructure was there to help in order to ship the natural gas that was needed there. We have been importing from time to time some cheaper nuclear energy effectively from the generation that you had in excess when we needed that. So this is quite important. You gave us an example as well of North Macedonia at some point in terms of the support that you gave with your energy system. I'm raising this because you have already a plan and you are financing this plan on SMRs, for example. And this is, you know, the nuclear reactors, the small reactors, modular reactors, are not something that, I mean, we have heard opening as a topic here, but it's not something that we are so advanced, at least, in this topic.
For the SMRs, we are in the feasibility studies. We are financing the
PSPs.
The new units of 7 and 8 of Kozlodui, which are with technology AP1000 now. We are doing the projects. We are waiting for the estimate codes, and I think that in the middle of the next decade, we will have the first and a little bit after that, the second one, which will replace the existing VVR technology, which is in the end of its life.
Okay. Shall I give you the opportunity just to have a quick final remark, maybe just for a few 30 seconds, if you can give us your closing remark?
Well, thank you. You know, these kind of events where such notorious speakers, you know, are gathering an auditory, I think it's very important just to outline the view and the plans of each party and each country, you know, involved. The regional collaboration is very important these days because of first of all, of the energy security. You know, in the last couple of years, or from the beginning of Russian war in Ukraine, you know, we have faced faced such level of threats in terms of security and energy. It's not an exception. Energy security as well. That you know, now maybe the most during our history, we need a strong collaboration in order to be sure, you know, that we can be ready we can be ready for the future challenges, and you know, being here, you know, and speaking openly about, you know, the importance of the collaboration and the challenge that you have internally, you know, I think it makes us stronger.
Thank you. Minister, last comment?
My last comment is that we should think in common. We should develop our system together with common efforts. Example for this is, I see Ms. Georgieva here. IGB is that example, and I think that we are expecting brighter future, and it is in our hands to do it.
Let's close this discussion with this positive note. Thank you very much for the great discussion, and we will continue now with a session. We have an online connection from the United States at the moment, from New York. Okay, thank you very much.